organization with Walter
And Rebecca. That was mainly me doing the emails. They were very good on emails and very prompt at getting back any issues and very good in terms of taking care of details and tolerated a lot of my picky little emails that I sent. No, and Walter and Rebecca and the staff just took care of everything. The only concern I had was the ice sculpture because it needed coordination between the flower people and the ice sculpture people and the staff at the Priory, and it was perfect. That was the first thing I looked at when I got there, and everything was there just the way it should have been, so it was perfect.
That was my first interaction with Walter, actually, personally, besides meeting him at the tasting, was that night when we walked in the door. So it was, he handled everything flawlessly, meeting us at the door, once we pulled up, and then basically running the show from there.
They were just very attentive. That was the first thing they asked us, myself and the bridal party, was what can we get you to eat, what can we get you to drink, and even throughout the entire dinner and the night. I know I had somebody constantly asking me what I needed and what could make it better, so definitely the bridal butler was extremely attentive.
Yeah, bottomless. It seemed like we had a bottomless drink and bottomless service. I mean, you'd walk away from the table and come back and, just things were taken care of. You really felt like you didn't have to worry about anything because when you didn't have to go to the bar. I mean, they would just take care of everything. It was outstanding.
From the family we invited, from my friends that I invited, from the people at my work, I heard about it for months, about how great the food was, and they loved this, they loved the shrimp little appetizers. My cousins just loved the chicken wrapped in bacon, I think, barbecued. In fact, my one cousin, I probably shouldn't put this on film, but my one cousin bribed one of the butlers to bring him out a tray for $5, so he brought out a whole tray. My cousin gave him $5 and put the whole tray down on the table for him. So everybody was just, taken back by the level of service, how good the food was. And in fact, I didn't even realize that my wine glass kept getting filled, so I drank more wine than I thought I did. So I kept thinking I was only one glass of wine, and here I probably down to about 2 or 3.
Very, very pleased. The steaks were done perfectly. The fish was, very fresh, and the vegetables, everything was very unique, nice presentation, and delicious. So definitely one of the high points of the evening besides the marriage itself.
Well, I think overall, ours was obviously a Christmas theme because it was in December, and I know my one bridesmaid said that it looked absolutely incredible. It was like a fairy tale wedding, and it was. You walked in and it was just breathtaking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even the photographers commented, the videographers, the scale of the building, the size, the scope, just the lighting, everything they said was just like a fantasy. And that's what they were going for when they were planning was, the fantasy Christmas wedding, and they nailed it to a T.
I even have a comment. We had love doves in there for the card box by Heavenly Wings, and there was basically a Victorian dove cage with the card box underneath. And when I took it back to him the day after, even he commented that, and he does weddings, he drops us off at weddings, that's his business, and he said it was the nicest place. It was so perfect, it was like no one should be allowed in the room. So, because it was just so awesome, he said. I worked for a software company quite a few years ago, but I was the oldest woman there at least, and all the other women there were at that age of either getting married or going to weddings. So for several years, that was the major talk in the office, was what wedding was being planned and what wedding they were going to. And at that age, I was too busy raising children to be concerned about going to weddings, but one thing I noticed was when they went to the Priory, that's the one they talked about for months. That was the one that they compared to everything else. And they were going to top dollar weddings at the Hilton, Lamont, can't remember the other one. Omni William Penn, and the other downtown hotels. But it was the Priory that was always talked about for months later. So I kind of made my mind up at that point and she was just a teenager then, that when the time came that I would at least hopefully push them in that direction. So she said she agreed to put the Priory on their list. So
And we've had the Priory.
Yeah. But it is a wedding that people talk about for months after going.
Yes.